Hey guys, Jeremy here. We've had a lot of questions lately about the big rig. So we're down on the beach in Albany, as you can see. It's a beautiful day. We thought now's a good chance to have a bit of a rundown on it and show you what we've done. Right guys, I thought I'd start at the front here, the business end. We've kept everything relatively tame. We wanted to keep the reliability for long distance touring. We've got the PDC airbox, J-Max bracket, diesel filter, some breathers up there, BT cruiser struts, just running the standard battery still. Up the front, ARB bull bar, solar spotties, a Warn Evo winch, side rails and steps. Got the Clearview compacts, power folds, they're pretty good, can't complain. We've gone the full J-Max 4495 GVM upgrade with a 4-ton towing. That also adds a 300mm chassis extension at the back here. So basically we just added this toolbox in. With the 300mm extension, it allows us to run a 1900mm canopy from Norweld. If we didn't have that, we'd have to run a little bit shorter due to the weight. It just wouldn't ride very well. Inside, kept it relatively simple as well. 1-stone armrests, always the go, can't go without them. Cruiser consoles, full length console. I liked this one actually fits the transfer case selector in the same console. Some of them kind of leave it out and it just sits on the side as it was, but I like how it's all integrated, kind of looks like it's meant to be there. With the canopy, we've got the Norweld Deluxe Canopy 1900mm. The reason we can run the 1900mm on the cruiser is obviously the 300mm extension here. So 300mm extension goes right about here, put a whole new super chassis underneath. But it just brings the wheels back, which allows us to have extra length in the canopy. Otherwise, yeah, it just wouldn't ride well. You wouldn't be able to do 900mm canopy without it. Obviously, it also gives us this spot on the back here to store stuff. Weber, we chuck our Weber in here, or you can chuck an extra fridge, little freezer. Awesome bit of room back there, which you don't normally get. Bushman 130, upright fridge. Never had an upright fridge before, but absolutely loving this one. Little freezer up the top. It's just handy, you don't have to pull it down and muck around too much. The full Enerdrive Extreme package. We've got 200 amps of lithium, which they put in behind this drawer, but we can't really see it. Maybe you can. You can also chuck another 200 amps behind the fridge if you do want to go that way, which it's good to have the option. One day we might go down that path. With the Simrad screen, which is awesome. You can kind of flick through and parameters. Getting some solar at the moment. USB Siggy lighters, drop down pantry. It's awesome having that because all this stuff that usually gets thrown in the drawer and rolls around in the way just goes up there, and then this just tucks up, locks in its spot, and that's it tucked away. So you can still have the shelf full of stuff up here, and it just comes down over top of it and doesn't get in the way. And yeah, it's actually really handy. Little drawer, put all our utensils. Drum boards, plates, bowls, all that kind of stuff in there. Everyone knows the Norweld table, a little map of Oz. Slowly working our way around. 235s hanging off the back there. The handy thing about this canopy also is having the ladder. You don't have to carry around the extra ladder for the rooftop. They're obviously relatively bulky, the ladders they give you, so it's nice to be able to just use the standard ladder on the back of the canopy. Just pops down, 2 seconds, done. Full length trundle drawer, chuck all our tools, little coffee machine, all that kind of stuff in there that doesn't really have any room in the canopy, doesn't have a place, so we just get kind of thrown in there. Around this side, loving the new tail lights as well, they look killer. Around this side, we've got a 3/4 length drawer with the matching shelf. This is obviously our pantry on this side. We just fill it full of food and camera gear and towels, pretty much everything. we just chuck our bags. Close up the top there. 2000 watt inverter. Sandy had to run a little coffee machine and a couple of little things for the young fella. ARB twin compressor with the tank. Loving that as well. It's really handy. Just being able to switch it on and go for it. On the top of the rooftop, we've got 300 watts of solar, which is really handy to be able to park up on a day like today down the beach. You just sit here for 1 or 2 weeks and the solar will just crank in and you never really have to move. So that was one of the main things that were non-negotiable for this. We wanted heaps of solar, so it's great to have that. Up the front on the water tank, got the fill point. You can obviously fill top or bottom. You just plug your hose straight in. Either way, just turn your little tap. 60 litres, 58 litres. It's just tucked up in front of the trundle door, underneath the canopy there. A little poly tank. Probably can just see it. It's a nice sized tank. Obviously, it's you never have enough water, but it does the job. I don't bother showering or anything too much with the water from the canopy. It's just kind of a waste, so we just make do. Lighting in the doors. So I've actually partnered up with the guys at Norwell for this build, which has been great to be working with them. Absolutely loving the canopy. They're at the top for a reason. The workmanship and quality is second to none. With the J-Max rear end, it comes with an integrated tow ball, airbag points there, and you can obviously chuck a winch in there if you want to. We didn't bother, I don't think. For us, it wasn't a necessity. We probably would have had it and never used it. Even the front one, it was only just to kind of get out of jail on that one, so if we do ever need one, we have it up the front, but again, it's one of those things you never really plan on wanting to have to use. This is a J-Max rear end, widened track, Brown Davis long range tank, coil conversion, remote res shocks. It rides like an absolute dream, especially off-road corrugations, just absolutely eats them up. You hardly feel them in the cab, and then you actually take a look at it and they're pretty deep, so that is definitely worth the time and money. Over this side, it's a Fabio R-Max, standard, shouldn't come without it. Rhino rack, Pioneer. Usually like a gas bottle nut on the roof as well, just gets it out of the canopy, saves a little bit more room. One of the good things about having the 300mm extension is obviously the extra canopy, which allows us to store the Weber in the back there, or you can chuck an extra fridge, or because this is obviously usually not there, this section here, so it would kind of end there, but with that 300mm this just allows so much more room. Up on the rooftop there, we've got 300 watts of solar, which is great. When you parked up on days like today, you could just sit here for a week if you wanted, and the sun's just absolutely cranking in. So with the shoes here, we've got the Method 312 NV heavy duties for the extra weight. Wrapped them in the Toyo Open Country MTs, 35, 12.5, 17s. Never actually had the Toyos before, but so far so good. They're nice and quiet on road. We're also partnering up with the guys at Boss Aluminium for the rooftop tent, the RT1. Absolutely killer rooftop, 130mm inner spring mattress, which is so comfy. Definitely the comfiest one that we've seen. And obviously the 270-degree awning too, which wraps around completely, just clips on the other side, freestanding, no poles, nothing. Easy to set up. And we've been smashed with winds recently, and the awning is absolutely perfect. It doesn't even move. Definitely worth the money as well. We've also wrapped the entire cab of the car, all the bar work, side rails, side steps, and the complete canopy in PPF Expel film. So you can kind of see the lip just in the inside there. It's a self-healing film, so good for pinstripes, all that, protects the paint. Already worth the money. It's definitely saved us. You can kind of see the lip there. But if you do get scratches, it'll either self-heal with the sun, or you can just pour hot water over it and it basically just gets rid of them. Funny story getting in here. We accidentally took the wrong turn. We went left somewhere up there. There's a little creek through here. We ended up going the wrong way up there. Went down some pretty serious tracks. Ended up having the car on two wheels, which wasn't that fun, really. Hey babe, if you had to choose one thing about the car, what do you reckon would be your favourite bit and why?
I'd say the back end, purely because we can just pull up at places like this and we have everything. I hated having the camper trailer. When we had that, I feel like we always forgot things to pack for the day. And then even with the Colorado, we had to shuffle around in bags and boxes to find stuff, which I absolutely hated. I love that. We've got our food, we've got our bags of clothes, everything like that. So we're not packing for the day all the time. And when we're done, we just pack up and go. I think that's pretty sweet. And look at the view.
And look at the view. We got lots of questions about our sleeping situation, especially with the young fella. So what do you think of the rooftop? Is it comfy or?
Actually, it is very comfy. Really good mattress. We obviously bring him up in this and he just sleeps down the end of my feet, and you wouldn't think so, but there's actually plenty of room and it's really comfortable, even like with him at the bottom of the bed. Yeah, the only crap thing is we're both up all night with him.
The reason we chose Norweld for the canopy is firstly that's fully Australian made, which is a big one for us. We try to keep everything on the ute Australian made because the quality is just second to none. So these guys offer a lifetime warranty on workmanship as well as the canopy, which kind of speaks for itself. It's built to last and it's built to get used. And the guys at Norweld are great, always willing to help through everything from the process from start to finish for us. So, and we also in the jack-off canopy, so if you do ever need to run the tray only, we can just get the legs, get rid of it, and it just gives us a bit more flexibility. And I also like the fact that we have the headboard on the canopy rather than just the canopy straight on the back of the cab. And it kind of hides the wiring and stuff behind there as well for the solar. But yeah, that's the reason we chose Norweld, and we're absolutely loving it so far.